Welcome to the Practical AI for You channel. When we need answers, whether we're planning a new purchase, starting a project, or just trying to solve a problem, we typically start with Googling it, and if it's important enough, or we don't get the information we're searching for, we ask a friend or trusted colleague for advice. Now, imagine having an incredibly knowledgeable friend who's available 24/7, can instantly access vast amounts of information, and is always eager to help. That's the power of AI chatbots. They combine the instant accessibility of Google with the conversational nature of asking a friend for advice. While chatbots have been trained on more information than any human could possibly know or remember, it's always important to verify information before making important decisions, regardless of the source. Today, we're going to try and answer the question, which AI chatbot is right for you? First of all, there's ChatGPT by OpenAI. It's a conversational powerhouse. Most of you are probably familiar with it. It was released in November of 2022, and it has a lot of feature functionality, and I think it's also the most refined of the AI chatbots. Next up is Copilot from Microsoft. It started its life as being AI. It's a real-time information assistant. It seamlessly integrates with the Microsoft ecosystem, and the foundation for this chatbot is ChatGPT. Next up is Gemini by Google, formerly Bard. And of course, Google leverages its experience in search and brings that to its AI chatbot. Next on the list is Perplexity. It's an AI chatbot that emphasizes transparency. It cites its sources and provides links to the content on the internet that it used to create its response. And finally, there's Claude by Anthropic. It's an AI chatbot designed for ethical, thoughtful, and context-aware interactions, which makes it perfect for writing or rewriting emails that are of a sensitive nature. Now let's test all 5 chatbots with a real-world situation. Let's imagine we own a small bakery. We know we need to use social media to promote our business, but we don't know where to start, and we can't afford a marketing firm to help us. So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to ask AI. Help me create a content calendar for my small bakery for the month of December. So now we're going to submit our request to the free version of each of the 5 chatbots that we've covered so far. The free version of each of the chatbots should be sufficient for us to get started today. The premium version will typically give you more inquiries, a faster response, and some additional premium features that we won't need for today for this demonstration. If you like what you see today, we'd appreciate it if you'd click like, and we'd also appreciate it if you'd follow the Practical AI for You channel. Let's get to our chatbots. So let's take a look at the response from ChatGPT. We'll notice at the top of the screen that it has created goals for our content calendar. Promote seasonal offerings, increase engagement, highlight daily specials, and provide behind-the-scenes content. As we move along down to the first week, we'll see it suggests that we make a post about December specials. So it's the beginning of the month. Let's talk about what's up and coming, and then provide a call to action for pre-orders. And it goes on. So there's a mix of different types of content. As we scroll down, we'll notice at the bottom, it has tips for content creation. It talks about the key days to highlight in the month. And then finally, it tells us which platforms to focus on for our campaign. Now let's take a look at the response from Microsoft Copilot. Notice it gives us a little bit of encouragement, telling us what a great idea it is to create our social media calendar. We then move down to week 1 with our specific suggestions, and we notice that the first 2 suggestions look an awful lot like the suggestions we received from ChatGPT, and that should not be surprising as ChatGPT is the chat engine underneath Copilot. We can roll down through here and we can see that they provide content, and looks like we've got 3 or 4 posts per week. Time to take a look at how Gemini responded to our request for the social media calendar. And if we just dive into the first week, we'll notice on Monday has sharing a mouth-watering photo for your holiday-themed pastries with captivating caption. Okay, so specific. Introduce a special Christmas cookie decorating workshop for families. So there's a new idea. Black Friday sale. So it's paying attention to the fact that we requested this calendar for December. And if we scroll down through to the end, There's some additional tips similar to what ChatGPT did. Has some hashtags that we should use, talks about responding to comments and messages promptly, and contests and giveaways to generating excitement, use eye-catching visuals. It also suggests considering using a social media scheduling tool to plan and automate your posts. And finally, it concludes with what will happen if we follow this calendar. Let's take a look at how Perplexity responded to our request. And we'll notice right away that Perplexity's output is very different from what we've seen so far. Up here, we have the sources for its response. And if we click on those, it'll take us to the actual place on the internet where that happened. We'll go back to where we were on Perplexity. And also there are images up here. And if we click on those, looks like those are visual tools we could use to lay out our content calendar. We'll go back to the response. And we'll start scrolling down here, and we'll notice that somehow Perplexity created a 7-week December. So this is our first hallucination in dealing with this request. And no problem, that's one of the powers of using chatbots. We can go down here, and I've said, you are incorrect. Would you please rewrite your response to make the weeks correct? And it has done so. The other thing we'll notice is this is the first chatbot that gave us a post for every day. If we went back and fine-tune this request, we might say 3 or 4 posts a week. But in this case, we have 7. Just gives us an opportunity to sort through more options and probably pick 3 or 4 that we're actually going to use each week. So you can see that the output is similar. In this case, it actually talks about December 1st being AIDS Awareness Day. So it's brought a social cause into the social media calendar. Again, a lot of good things that are related to creating posts for a bakery. And as we slide on down to the bottom, there is no additional information beyond the details of each day. Another thing that's different is we can search images, search videos, and generate images from the screen in Perplexity. Time to take a look at the response from Claude. And we'll notice that Claude lays things out a little differently than the other chatbots. On the left-hand side here, we have Claude's response and their comments. It talks about what this calendar is designed to do, and it has some additional recommendations for building out our calendar. This box right here is the content that's over here on the right-hand side of the screen. And you can see that it has broken down the media calendar by weekly themes. And then it also has taken each post and broken it down a little further for us. If we scroll down to December 1st, it has a name for the post. It tells us what to do in our post, including adding a teaser for our holiday menu. If we go down to Tuesday, December 3rd, we have a recipe reel, it's called, Quick Holiday Cookie Decorating Tips. So we're gonna make a video, and then we're gonna showcase our signature holiday cookie designs in that video. And it goes on as the others do. Down at the bottom, it has content tips. There's a hashtag strategy defined, and it has engagement tactics outlined. So that is the free version of Claude. We're going to take a look at the output of the premium version of Claude. So this is the version where we pay $20 a month. And we'll notice the layout is very similar. We have an explanation of the strategy that Claude took in laying out the social media calendar. It also suggests possible questions we might want to ask in order to get a better understanding of how to implement the social media calendar. If we move over to the actual calendar and we look at the first entry on December 1st, we see it gives us a theme. It provides the definition of the content. It also tells us what caption we should use for the photos and provides us some hashtags. So it provides a lot more information for us, or a lot better description of what we need to do in order to fulfill the post for each day. And we'll scroll down to the bottom here, and we can see that it explains the content types that are mixed throughout. It has the hashtag strategy laid out. It also gives us some best practices. In the first item, it suggests that we post during peak times. So this is the first chatbot that has actually brought in the concept of when it's best to post. It talks about responding quickly, It talks about sharing customer stories, of course, with permission. I would say that this is the strongest response, but this is the only response I've shared that was from a premium version of a chatbot. Now that we're done walking through our example with each of the chatbots, let's talk about the strengths, weaknesses, and best use cases for each of the chatbots. First up is ChatGPT. Its strengths are it's highly versatile, it's very creative, and it uses sound logical reasoning. It supports DALL-E, which is a text-to-image bot. It is connected to the web in the paid version. It also has extensive third-party integrations if you're using it in a business context. As for weaknesses, the free version is limited to older data and lacks web access. Its responses may hallucinate, or it may simplify nuanced topics, and occasionally it is over chatty. Let's talk about its best uses. The free version is great for general knowledge queries, has basic creative writing skills, and can provide simple coding help. The paid version is good for advanced research, real-time information, and professional plugins with applications. Let's talk about Copilot strengths. It has excellent Microsoft Office integration. It's built to be productivity focused through its integration with Microsoft Office. It can analyze data, identify trends, and provide practical recommendations. This is particularly useful when you're integrating Copilot with Microsoft Excel. Its weaknesses. The free tier is limited to basic tools. It lacks standalone conversational depth compared to ChatGPT 4 or Claude, and its business-first focus may limit casual user appeal. The free version is best used for coding and development of Visual Studio Code. The paid version provides enterprise-level productivity through its integration with Microsoft Office 365. Let's talk about Gemini's strengths. Like all of the chatbots, it'll take text input. Gemini also handles images and video input. It has the potential for growing pains as its ecosystem develops. As far as best uses, both the free and paid versions are great for real-time research, scientific exploration, and multimodal projects combining text, images, and data interpretation. Let's talk about Perplexity's strengths. It has real-time web access for current event and factual lookups. Its concise and to-the-point answers are efficient and include citations, and it includes links to related web content. Now let's talk about its weaknesses. It has limited creativity and lacks deeper contextual or imaginative responses that the other chatbots provide. What are its best usage? The free version is best for quick factual lookups with citations. The paid version has unlimited access for professionals needing concise, up-to-date, and source-backed information. Let's talk about Claude's strengths. It's excellent at summarization and creative content. It handles large context windows effectively, and it has an empathetic tone in its responses. Its weaknesses are the free version limits context size and speed. It lacks real-time access to the web, and sometimes it's slower than the competitors for complex queries. As far as best usage, the free version is great for summaries, brainstorming, and writing assistance. The paid version can handle large documents and deep contextual analysis, and it's great for creative ideation, which means it can do things like brainstorming and provide worst possible ideas and mind mapping. Please take the time to check out each of these free chatbots and see which one you prefer. Whether it's brainstorming with ChatGPT, fact-checking with Perplexity, or organizing with Copilot. In my experience, each of these chatbots has revolutionized the way I work and play. Please tell us if any of the chatbots have made a positive impact on your life and how in the comments below. Here's a link to our previous video, Web Search versus AI Chatbots, and a link to our next video, Planning the Vacation of Your Dreams. Want us to explore a different topic on AI chatbots? Please leave us a note in the comments. Thanks.